Hello, everybody. It's the Film Optimist. Today I'm talking about Mean Creek. Sam, a shy young man, is bullied by a dyslexic boy named George. When Sam tells his older brother Rocky about this, Rocky hatches a plan to humiliate George. But Sam ends up actually liking George and eventually wants to be friends with him. This throws a wrench in the original plans, and Sam has to decide which path to take. God, such a powerful, depressing movie. It literally left me speechless. This really makes you look at your own morality and wonder if you're a good person yourself. Thanks go to Jennifer Johnson for requesting this film. My sister, I can't believe she requested this film. Me and my brother used to laugh at this meme from this movie. After you see the movie, even if you know what the movie's about, it's like it's a dark joke, and then you watch the film and you're like, God, it's not funny anymore. It's not. This is a terribly depressing film. I didn't I didn't spoil what happens in here, but I'm gonna spoil it here for anyone that hasn't seen it. I will talk about the cast. Rory Culkin is Sam Merrick. George the bully is played by Josh Peck. George Tooney. Ryan Kelly is Clyde. Scott Meklowicz is Martini Marty Blank. Trevor Morgan plays Rocky Merrick, the older brother. Carly Schroeder plays Millie. Brandon Williams is Kyle Blank. So these friends go. So the plan is this: we're gonna take him down to the creek. We're gonna go river rafting. He's very excited to be there. George is. He's really happy. Um, but he continues being a bully. He's like trying to pass it off as a joke. He's happy that he's invited. Nobody invites him anywhere. And this is great that someone's finally inviting him somewhere. And he definitely has anger problems. He's not just dyslexic. Overweight school bully. There's other parts of him as well. During the ride, George reveals a different side of himself by being genuinely pleased to be invited and that he's dyslexic. Sam tells Millie the real plan. She doesn't. She thinks that's very cruel. Um, there's something that happens in this movie. It's really messed up. They reveal the plan to him. They reveal that they're going to strip him down naked and make him walk home naked. Throw him in the creek and make him walk home wet and naked, and leave him by himself. And he's very upset at this. He goes off on everybody. It's a very tense moment. Yeah, Marty deviates from the plan and initiates a game of truth or dare, though the rest decide to go along. After George sprays Marty with a water gun in good fun, he makes a funny quip about Marty's father, not remembering that as a sore subject, as Marty's father committed, he unalived himself. This triggers Marty, who exposes the whole plan and starts to ridicule George. Angered and humiliated, George launches into a vulgar tirade against the others, which ends with him crudely mocking Clyde's two gay fathers, and even taunting Marty about his deceased father by repeatedly shrieking, His daddy splattered his brains all over the wall." As Rocky tries to stop the fight, he accidentally shoves George off the boat and into the water. Unable to swim, George struggles to remain afloat in the water. As the others watch the scene in terror, George accidentally hits his head with his camera and doesn't come up to the surface. Rocky dives into the water and finds George, who's face down in the shallow water close to the shore. Millie attempts to give George CPR, but it's too late as George is unable to be resuscitated. The group is traumatized and in fear of being incarcerated. They dig a hole in the ground and bury George's corpse. Child death is very sad and impactful and just it's bad. It's really bad. It's like a Boys in the Hood situation. It's a fantastic film, and then something really traumatic happens in the film, and it's like I don't know if I like this anymore. It's too real. It's beyond. It's like no, I don't like that. Spoiler alert, by the way. If I started reading that and you were not didn't know it was spoiled, my bad. Um, it's always been something that, as a kid, when you're a child, and you're like, I when a kid dies in like a movie, whether it be a horror, whatever it is, it hits closer because you are a child, and you're like, that could happen to me, but I'm a kid. I'm not immortal. Kids believe truly for a while they are immortal. They are incapable of injury. They're crazy. Kids are insane. And then one day it hits you like a ton of bricks. You're like, life, like everybody dies. But I'm a kid. I still have many, many years. But you could die. And, death is so heavy. Um, Very heavy subject to tackle all in this video, but just I'm talking about it like at a surface level for children. When you get older, you think about when you were young. You think about the crazy shit you did, and like, how did I get away with doing that? And you have your own children, you have nephews and nieces, and you see the things that they do, and you're like, oh my god, stop doing that. Stop, you're gonna give me a heart attack. And then you're like, they truly don't know that their lives are like, oh man, they're just so you know what I mean. I was an adult when I watched this. Technically speaking, I think I was 19. Um, so, which is barely an adult. Let's be real here. And so watching this, it's like, this is me watching the movie, just like, because that can happen to anybody, and it has happened, and it will continue to happen, most likely. Clyde's plan is to explain to the authorities that it was an accident, but Marty threatens him, reminding Clyde that George's camera, now lost in the water, contains Marty's taped confession of the original plan, and the authorities will find out if the camera is discovered. As they had already tricked George into not telling his mother where he was going, she wouldn't know their involvement. They later gather at Sam and Rocky's house. Sam, Rocky, Clyde, and Millie are willing to face the consequences as opposed to having George's death hanging over their heads. Marty refuses to turn himself in and feels betrayed. He storms out and convinces his brother to give him his gun and car. He then robs a gas station and leaves the country, becoming a fugitive. Meanwhile, the others go to George's house and confess to his mother. Sam is later seen inside an interrogation room telling the story to the police, who later find and view the tape from George's camera. In a final scene, audio of George explaining his dream of becoming a filmmaker and documenting his life in hopes that those who see it will finally understand him plays in the background. The police force Sam, his father, and George's mother find the location of George's corpse. As the sheriff exhumes George's corpse, Sam watches on in regret while George's mother cries in grief. George ends the video and turns off the camera. Yeah, very powerful film. God, it's insane. There were a lot of movies like this where I watched it and I was like disgusted with what just transpired, but also just like fascinated by the thought of what was going on. So I don't know. You guys have a good one. Take care. Once again, thanks to my sister. Bye.